Oil prices have climbed again amid mounting supply fears after the US struck Iran's Karg Island oil hub. Here in the UK, the Prime Minister has announced a £53 million package to support people affected by the rising price of heating oil, which has soared in response to the conflict in the Middle East. The Prime Minister says the UK will not be drawn into a wider war over Iran and says he is working with allies on a viable plan to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Our chief political correspondent, Henry Zeffman, has more.
The conflict in Iran and across the Middle East is now entering its third week. So I want to take a moment to set out how we're responding to this crisis.
A crisis which looms in so many different forms, global and domestic. And for those who use heating oil, it's a crisis apparent when they fill up their tanks.
I'm announcing immediate support for vulnerable heating oil customers today, providing £53 million for those households that are most exposed.
That will be administered by local councils to those in most need. But there is a growing recognition, perhaps a fear, that before long the government might have to find a lot more money for those who use other heating sources too.
We're not ruling anything out, but it is very difficult to say at this juncture what the position will be in July, which is when the current energy cap runs out. Or what the position will be in September.
And there was a clear hint from Sir Keir that he is far from ready to accept President Trump's request to send a ship to protect the passage of oil.
It is a discussion. We're not at a point of decisions yet, and I want to really stress that. It is obviously a difficult question, that goes without saying, in relation to how you safeguard maritime traffic through the straits.
Another sign of the deteriorating relationship with President Trump, who suggested last night there would be consequences for countries which defied him.
We're always there for NATO. We're helping them with Ukraine. And many it's got a notion that between us doesn't affect us, but we've helped them. It'd be interesting to see what country wouldn't help us with a very small endeavour, which is just keeping the strait open.
Not only is the Prime Minister, who spent so long trying to build a rapport with President Trump, now breaking with him, he is using that shift as an attack on his opponents here in the UK.
They would have rushed the UK headlong into this war without the full picture of what they're sending our forces into and without a plan to get us out. That is not leading, it's following.
The Conservatives think the government should have planned better for this scenario.
What I want to see is that the Prime Minister is working with our allies in the Gulf, with the US and elsewhere, to make sure that he is delivering for the British national interest, because this war is having an impact on our borrowing rates, stock markets, even the price of energy.
The Strait of Hormuz remains all but closed. The Liberal Democrats say the government should table an emergency resolution at the UN to get it open. Reform UK are still highly critical of the Prime Minister's initial decision not to assist the US, while the Greens question whether the American strikes which are happening from the UK are truly defensive. Another week where British politics is the politics of war far away. Henry Zeffman, BBC News, Westminster.